Sweet. Now that's going. It's all good stuff. How's everybody doing today? Hello?
We're good. Gabe?
Gabe, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm here.
You sure?
Yeah, why?
You got really quiet.
Pre-roll and I'm being quiet?
Yeah, that's a first. Since when?
Since today.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Alrighty. Well, we are here. We are back. Everybody got the agenda open?
Man, I'm looking at lunch bags right now, like lunch boxes and shit.
Okay.
Because mine's kind of banged up for work, and I found this like Spider-Man waterproof tote. It's obviously for kids, right?
Okay.
But it's hilarious because the fucking so the eyes are there, right?
Okay.
And then it has like a handle, and it looks like Spider-Man has been blessed with a third eye or some shit. This shit's so dumb. Hang on, let me fucking post it in here so you guys can see it. Click on that link and look at how dumb this shit is.
Really dumb.
If you look at it upside down, it looks like a very hungry Spider-Man.
It does look like a very hungry Spider-Man.
A sad, hungry Spider-Man.
Hungry Spider-Man.
That's okay. I'm sad when I'm hungry too.
Dude got a spider fucking forehead tattoo.
It looks like Spider-Man's scared because he has a spider on his forehead.
But he's also hungry and he doesn't know which issue to address first.
Yeah, he's got a lot of things going on. A lot
Poor
on his
guy.
plate. A lot on his plate.
Not
Yeah.
actually, but like, the
Okay.
existential dread.
We have officially degraded from Secondcitykids to first town adults. This banter going on.
Oh, wow. Good one, buddy.
I try.
Hold on, let me go close my window real quick. Give me a second.
Why is this dude closing the windows?
Talk. Make sure you guys are
gotta
not
silence
dead
Apple
air.
fan.
Expensive.
He's got to silence the haters, man. He's shining.
Oh yeah, you have. There's people outside of Jake's house yelling, talking about stop recording. Yelling sucks. Stop. Oh man. How did window closing go?
Yahoy. We are back.
You getting old?
You guys ready?
Yeah.
Oh,
What is going on, guys? Welcome to the Second City Kids podcast, episode number 158.
158.
158.
Oh, he's stealing your thunder, Gabe. You gonna let him do that?
Man, Greg, check yourself.
Yeah, right.
158.
There you go.
I'll
Yeah,
be
now I'm
the
thinking.
Telemundo broadcaster.
Nice.
This
That's
dude.
good. Interesting. So yeah, we are back on a wonderful day on the south side of Chicago, Illinois. It has been several weeks since we have rolled sound just due to the fact that we don't have a whole lot to talk about over the last several weeks, but we are here to talk now. And I'm your host, Jacob. And with me today, I have my usual cast of characters. Guys, go ahead and introduce yourselves.
It's me, Greg.
I'm
And it's me, Gabe.
yeah.
Wow.
I'm a trash of Call of Duty Greg, according to Jake.
Shut up. Alrighty. So, so we're back. Alrighty. So, before we get started into the big boy agenda, which mostly is gaming centric, I imagine it'd be pretty deep on that. How's everybody's last couple weeks been? Hello?
Good. They've been good.
It's been good, huh?
Yeah.
So, what y'all don't know is that Gabe just woke up from a nap and he's tired. He's wumpy Gabe right now.
Well, yeah, because I asked and then you didn't reply immediately, and I was like laying down and I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I was in the middle of a live stream. We'll talk about that near the end of the thing with Bob. But yeah, man, I was in the middle of all that, so I was kind of in the zone, you know?
Bro,
yeah.
should I get a lunchbox that looks like a Woody from Toy Story? Like his shirt, I should specify.
Like the flannel?
You know what?
thing?
I'm a grown-ass man. Yeah, the flannel with like the cowhide vest.
Oh, yeah, sure, why not?
I'm a grown-ass man. I could do what I want.
Absolutely, you
Get a
can.
Mike Wazowski one, man.
Oh.
Which was just the giant eyeball.
Yeah, the giant eyeball. That'll be the eye. That the little handle. That way it makes
Carhartt
sense.
makes lunchboxes? Oh my god, how are the emo girls not all over this yet?
Huh. Interesting. Alrighty. So I'm glad that you guys had a good couple of weeks. That's good. Let's go ahead and get started into this agenda for today. A couple things to notate. We're going through movies, TVs, and books. So let's go ahead and start talking about it. We got Kingdom Hearts, a TV show coming out I think it said HBO was picking it up. I think HBO is just picking up everything these days, I believe. But yeah, it's Kingdom Hearts in partnership with Disney, obviously, due to the the fact that it's all Disney owned stuff. And I was just wondering what you guys thought about it.
I once watched a YouTube video called the Kingdom Hearts Lore Explained, and it was still like an hour and 38 minutes. Absolutely insane. I think there's a lot going on with Kingdom Hearts, and I think Kingdom Hearts 3 didn't do as well as people wanted it to do. So it kind of makes sense that they're trying to maybe like reappropriate the franchise and try and make money off it through other mediums, I guess. It's not the worst idea, but it's also one of those like, how are you going to pull this off thing?
Greg?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've never played a Kingdom Hearts game, but it's a TV show, I guess.
It's not a game, so it's got to be a TV show.
Yeah, just chalk it up to the board for Disney.
When
at this point.
When you say it didn't do well, like did you say like commercially it didn't do well, or like how was the reviews? I didn't really even hear anything.
The reviews are kind of mixed, man. There's a lot of people kind of upset with the. Granted, I didn't play it. I'm not a big Kingdom Hearts fan, but oh man, I lost my train of thought. I gotta.
Oh man, Gabe's tired, guys.
Yeah. There was apparently disappointment amongst the game itself and the way it wrapped up stories and things of that nature. Like I said, I didn't personally play it, but it's a pretty big franchise, and it's one of those where you're not going to satisfy everyone.
Alrighty, well, that's for sure. Alrighty, well, yeah, that just thought it'd kind of be something that we would talk about. Next up, Ryan Gosling is rumored to be playing a Universal monster.
The Mummy.
We've done that a bazillion times.
Wolfman.
Yeah, that's the one. That is indeed the one.
Oh, like actually?
Yeah, he's actually the Wolfman is actually the one that he is being rumored to play. And I was just wondering what you guys thought about it. I mean, obviously, I'm a big fan of these Universal monster movies. We've talked about that in the past. And I think it should be interesting. I don't think Ryan Gosling's a bad actor or anything like that. And I think
he's a phenomenal actor. I think he doesn't get enough love on this podcast, honestly. And
yeah,
he got the looks, man. Just like take like some wads of like dog fur, like when you brush your dog, take some of that and like hot glue it to this man's chest, and you're good.
Yeah, I think he has the depth to be able to cover such a deep character, because the Wolfman, I think, arguably is one of the more in depth emotionally kind of the whole franchise, the original at least, the original set. And I think he can pull it off. I think it'll be a job well done by him. But yeah, this is just a rumor right now, and I was just wondering what our opinions were on it. Greg, what is your familiarity with the Universal monsters? Have you watched them, or do you care about them? What's going on with that?
I don't know what you mean by Universal monsters, but what is it? What defines a Universal monster?
Universal, like the company, how they did like Dracula,
Frankenstein,
and those in like the 1920s, 30s, 40s, things of that nature.
Oh, I mean, I'm pretty sure I've seen. I'm assuming they had to have played some of them on Svengoolie, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I've probably seen them because I used to watch Svengoolie a lot in my younger years. But
I just came for the rubber chicken, man.
Yeah, and the mascara around the eye. That's what got me into my emo phase.
Cool.
But yeah, I mean, I don't really have anything to say. I do enjoy Ryan Gosling, and I guess I don't know really what's the difference between Wolfman and a werewolf is. I feel like they're the same thing, but if they can do something in depth with it, yeah, I mean, why not?
Okay, cool. Excellent. All right, so I actually saw a film that I wanted to see in theaters. Then the world quickly devolved into a mountain of bullshit. So let's talk about it. Uncut Gems. It is Adam Sandler's newest movie, but it's not an Adam Sandler movie, if that makes sense. And it stars a character who is just a total scumbag, right? And the guy who can't help but to make his situation worse. And the movie is, Adam Sandler is the lead, and he's just the type of guy that you cheer for some reason. Like, you can't even put a finger on why you are cheering for him. But what you can say is that every single decision he makes is the wrong one. All right. And it's just an escalating series of events. And the story in the movie just takes you on this roller coaster ride of a guy who constantly is living on the edge and cannot win for the sake of winning. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he just can't get his shit together under any circumstances. and with an excellent supporting cast. Julia Fox being the biggest one. She was like his girlfriend, I guess, in the film, and it's just a train wreck of a movie, but in a good way. It's like a fucking 2-hour long fucking anxiety attack of a film. And have you guys seen this yet or no?
No, it's on my list.
It's on your list? Yeah, so I would definitely 100% recommend it. I think Adam Sandler shows that he can do more than just kind of his silly Adam Sandler movies. And granted, there is a little bit of that because the movie was kind of written for him to play this character. So he has a little bit of his mannerisms and stuff like that in it, but ultimately it shows a character with a lot of depth. And like I said, no matter what he does, the moment he gets a little bit of a head, he just tosses it right down the fucking well and can't even help himself. And it's just a fucking
question.
Go ahead.
In the hierarchy, would you put this movie above or below Click?
For Adam Sandler?
That is a good question, actually.
It is above Click by like a fucking mile, bro.
Are we talking about the same Click here?
Yes, the one with Kate Beckinsale and Christopher Walken?
And Bed Bath & Beyond.
And Bed Bath & Beyond, yeah. Yeah. It's way, way better than that. It's not, like I said, it's not exactly an Adam Sandler movie. These things are not really played. They're not intentionally funny. If anything is funny, it's just because it's absolutely ridiculous.
Situationally.
Yeah. It's what this guy puts himself through, the situations that he puts himself in that makes him funny because he's just fucking ridiculous and can't control him. His
All right,
demons.
so you're saying that you can find this movie and Adam Sandler both in the Beyond section.
Sure.
All right, what's your rating for it?
I'd say A+, honestly.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's one of my more favorite movies I've seen recently. And I don't think he got any nods for it, but I think he should have, because Adam Sandler proven that he could actually act. You know, he goes beyond just his Adam Sandler movies. It's not Little Nicky. It's not fucking Big Daddy. It's something different. And from what I understood originally, because Adam Sandler's, I guess his agent read the script, he's like, absolutely not. They were actually going to get Jonah Hill to play that character. And I guess Adam looked over the script. He's like, no, we're fucking doing this. And that's exactly what happens. So, yeah, it's a really good movie. It's on Netflix. I would 100% recommend for everybody to check this movie out. It's one of my favorite movies I've seen in quite some time. And, yeah, it's just brilliant. It's just brilliant storytelling, brilliant pacing. I was trying to tell Adriana multiple times that I needed to stop because I just couldn't take all the anxiety that was wrapped up into this story. So I would 100% recommend this film.
Good copy, sir. Talk to me about these two gentlemen by the name of Bill and Ted.
Bill and Ted, they got a new film coming out. I believe they dropped some teasers for it. It looks absolutely hilarious. Bill and Ted, obviously, it was a franchise in the 80s where these two slacker, goofball, rock star wannabe kind of characters get themselves into a series of crazy events that aren't even logical in any way, shape, or form, most of which involving a telephone booth. And yeah, they're back. We've talked about this previously. Keanu Reeves and I forget the other gentleman's name, but they are also reprising their roles. And yeah, it looks like a whole lot of fun. Who would have thought? Bill and Ted back in 2020, you know?
Hell yeah.
I think with everything considering, I think it's like probably the 23rd most off-the-wall thing that's happened this year so far.
Yeah, this doesn't even crack like top 20.
Absolutely not. But I definitely don't think most people would have thought that this would have legs, but I guess it did, you know? Good for them. I'm happy for them.
Good copy. Let's talk some gaming news because we did have a couple big announcements this week.
We did.
PlayStation, the big PlayStation event came around. We got a solid look at the PlayStation 5, the controller, things of that nature. So how does everybody feel about this $600 router?
Well, we don't know the exact price for it yet. Everything that has been coming out about it is strictly speculation, though I do believe that you are on the mark with the price.
In the ballpark,
yeah,
I'd imagine.
You're definitely in the ballpark, I believe. And yeah, from just the visuals of it, I know Gabe said he wasn't particularly fond of it. I don't mind it. I think you and I both agreed, though, that they were leaning very heavily on like the futuristic look for it. You know what I mean? And it looks like, this is the best way I could describe it. It looks like if you're playing a video game, it looks like what a console would look like inside of that video game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just so people know, oh yeah, that's got to be a gaming console because it's kind of futuristic looking and stuff like that. I don't 100% hate it. I know a lot of people are either in one camp or the other. Either they love it, or they hate it. I'm closer to the love it category. I could be just a fanboy. Y'all can tell me if I am.
You're being a fanboy.
That's fair. I mean, it is what it is. I own that. It is what it is. But I like it. I quite enjoyed it. I like the reveal for it, the whole little wavy thing. I thought that was very fascinating. And I think it looks good. And what other pins do we have, Greg? What do you think?
I mean, when it comes to consoles and whatnot, I'm not really a person that's like, oh, I like the looks of it. Granted, the memes that are coming out about it they're fucking phenomenal. But like,
Greg's just in life for the memes.
Yeah, but like, I'm more of like, how it performs and whatnot. And I stuck around with PlayStation. I had the first one, second one, third. I missed out on the fourth one because a little more expensive, and I was a broke college kid. But I enjoyed the PlayStation exclusives, and like I said, I'm not about looks, more about processing power. And at the end of the day, haters are gonna hate. I mean, but for the PS1, everybody said it looked like a toy. The PlayStation 3, everybody made fun of it for the fat one because it looked like a grill.
Of course, farmer grill, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, the first wave of them also behaved like a George Foreman grill.
Yeah, and then someone actually made it a grill.
That's a good
that was
point.
great. But we'll see how it performs, and we're definitely going to talk about the exclusives, and there's a good chunk of them.
Yeah,
but that's my thought of them. About it.
So, like, I mean, I am not up on the whole tech situation. And I'm sure you and Gabe could have a more extensive conversation. But how does it, like, in your opinion, like, how does it stack up? Like, do you think it's an advancement, or do you think it's kind of like
right off the bat, we have solid state drives in both the Xbox Gen X and the PlayStation 5, which is going to be massive for like loading times, game downloads, access read-write times, things of that nature.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we already saw like the supposed Spider-Man demo where like the PlayStation 4 took 29 seconds to boot into it, where this one took like 4 or whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
So just off that alone, I feel like you're going to spoil a lot of gamers, and it's going to be really hard going back to some of these like retro consoles and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like my back already aches whenever I boot up the old 360, for whatever reason, and I can't imagine. And those are both hard disk drives, so I can't imagine going back from a solid state drive. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You got to account for that, and then like the whole. My big thing is I don't hate the design fully. It does look like I told you my feelings is it looks like that one episode of SpongeBob in the future where everything's chrome. I feel like that's the vibe they were going for.
Yeah.
But like, why would you make the digital only PS5 look so much better?
It really does.
Like leagues better. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And then like you and I were discussing during the week where, well, if these things are going to be around the same price point, how are you going to balance this sort of stuff out? Because, with the exclusion of like a physical disc drive, you eliminate Blu-rays, DVDs, and then actually like buying used games. Think about how big the used game market is, and you're essentially eliminating a whole player base from that. Like, let that sink in. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And then, so I guess what we're getting at is that the digital only one has to have a lot more memory right off the bat than the physical one, and that's the only way to balance it. But I want to say that's what Sony's going to do, but I got a feeling it's not. I feel like one's definitely going to be the cheaper option.
You think so? You think the digital is going to come with the same memory?
I think, I think right off the bat it'll be probably like 500 gigs to a terabyte, and then if you opt in for the digital only one, it'll probably be like $100 cheaper.
Bro, I think at this point you got to put at least a tera in there, even at the base model.
We talked about Call of Duty is officially 191 gigabytes on PC as of this week.
It's ridiculous, I mean, like, especially with games of that size, you have to make at least a tera. Like,
I mean, if you stick to 500, that means after your system settings, your operating system and stuff, like, what do you have left?
Like, probably in the 400 range, probably, right?
Yeah, 400, maybe higher, 300.
Depending if you have a disc or not, because if you have it all digital on your PlayStation, you have way less.
That's what I'm saying, right? So yeah, they got to work that out. I said on Twitter that that the disc drive version looks like it's a PlayStation 5 with a tumor on it, which it does kind of look like that. And I would agree that the digital looks much better. It just kind of streamlines the whole entire experience.
But like, think about it. I feel like that's something we'd never thought about or like considered until now. If you buy the digital only one for whatever reason you want, you are effectively eliminated from the used game market.
Yeah, that's true.
Let that sink in.
Well, I think a lot of the digital thing, they would require not just the bigger memory, but I think it would need to require PlayStation Network to kind of get their shit together when it comes to optimizing their performance, their bandwidth because I have good internet. It takes forever to download a fucking game. You know what I mean? And it's more to do on their end than it does on mine. They need to figure that out. They need to find a way to get the best out of everybody's connections.
Yep.
To kind of what's the word I'm looking for? To justify people doing a digital only service. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. I guess I quite enjoyed the look of it, but they did announce a shit ton of games, first party and not, in the whole presentation, which I thought was the presentation itself was like very well put together. Just from kind of the presentation of it. Like, I don't know if you guys saw the Xbox one a couple of months ago, but it was like a Zoom call that we were looking at, and this was much higher production quality. And how they bounce from person to person.
It was a spectacle, yeah.
Yeah, from talking about their games and stuff like that. And with that being said, we do have quite a few large announcements for the gaming. So let's talk about some of the bigger ones. I kind of wrote down a little list. We'll talk about these in varying, in-depth conversations, I'm sure. But let's go ahead and start about kind of the bigger one that they opened up with, which was Insomniac Games talking about Spider-Man Miles Morales, which I guess they clarified is an expansion on the currently existing Spider-Man game. What did you guys think?
Good shit. Spider-Man did very well. And we know the whole Sony bout thing. Keep cranking them out as long as they're of quality.
Yeah.
Oh,
nice. Same thing.
Yeah, I think it looked absolutely fantastic. I think it's an interesting story to tell, and I kind of want to see how they integrate it with the overall narrative of the game. But with that being said, I kind of put this out of order. This is my fault, actually. But also, Insomniac Game was also behind Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. And what do you guys think how this looked?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's another Ratchet and Clank game.
I don't think anybody's going to sit there and say, no, you're going to ruin or foul the series. Like, I feel like the Ratchet and Clank guys are like, yeah, it only took fucking 15 years, but thank you.
Yeah. What was the last one? Deadlock? Or no, something on PS4 probably, yeah.
Didn't they do like a reboot?
There's a 2016 game, so 4 years.
I thought they did like a reboot or something like that version of it. But yeah, I mean, Ratchet and Clank, I think one of the more underrated PlayStation mascots.
Mascots for sure. Games? Yeah. No, I feel like that one's for sure well known.
You think so?
Oh yeah. Are you kidding me?
Well, I consider Ratchet and Clank up there Arsenal like one of the best games I've ever played. So I'm really looking forward to this. I think it looked very cool. They were kind of using it as a way to kind of show off how quick things render, in game, because they were jumping from timeline to timeline. It looks like, and multiverse to multiverse, and it looked really good. It looked far better than what I think most people would expect from a Ratchet and Clank game. And yeah, like I said, it looks like they're jumping from the multiverse because Clank gets separated from Ratchet, and there appears to be like a female version of Ratchet out there, and that was kind of what the trailer left off on. I think it looks like a hell of a lot of fun. So there is that. Now let's keep it moving. A couple of other let's talk about what's called. Well, let's do third party stuff first. Our first party stuff. Let's talk about Horizon Forbidden West. So Horizon Zero Dawn, I think most people would consider it one of the better games of this generation of console, and they're opening up the new one, it looks like, with a new Horizon Forbidden West. I think it looks phenomenal. What do you guys think?
Yep. It looks fucking great, and it's going to be a quality game. This is just one of those Ratchet and Clank situations where, like, the fan base is ready, give them what they want.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so Horizon Zero Dawn definitely was a spectacle of the PlayStation 4 generation. And then the creators behind it, Guerrilla Games. I have not played because, again, I never bought a PS4. But
by the way, their logo, Greg, is the gorilla on the logo. I just wanted to.
Is it now? Because, like I said, I was going to say, I played Killzone, like 1, 2, and 3, and I haven't played Shadowfall. A little bit of it on my buddy's PS4, but not like entirely. Because again, no PS4. But I was kind of surprised that Guerrilla didn't actually make another Killzone. But at the same time, it makes sense from a marketing standpoint because Horizon Zero Dawn did so well. Why not make another, sequel to it? Because as far as I recall, Shadowfall didn't really do well. So yeah. I'm a little disappointed that there's no new Killzone. But if they're gonna make another Horizon game, then I'm all for it.
Yeah, I think most people consider the most recent Killzone kind of more of like a demo of like the capabilities of the console, and less so more of like a
Actual
great
game.
Yeah, like a great
Yeah.
game. I consider I like the Killzone games as well, but I kind of put it in that category as well. It was fun to play for a little bit, but once it was over with, it was over with. And I think most people kind of saw through that when it comes to the whole Killzone thing, and kind of, I don't want to say it ruined the legacy of the game, but it definitely put like a black eye on it. So when they came out with Horizon, I think it's going to be taking the place of Killzone, because it is kind of that, like you said, that spectacle, like that gigantic, massive game that looks absolutely fucking beautiful. And I think it's going to operate in that kind of the same way, but I think they're going to pay a little bit closer attention to story, because it is a very story-centric game.
Right.
And so just the things that we saw looked fucking phenomenal, so they should be proud. Yeah, because I was going to ask him, Gorilla was the one that was for sure behind Killzone. So yeah, I think it looks great, man. They really came out swinging with some of the bigger ones. I think there are things that are in the works that is purely speculation, but I think there are other major PlayStation games that are probably in the works that they haven't announced yet, that they're probably going to be doing on a later date. Like, I'm fully expecting relatively soon them to announce a new God of War. But there's that. So yeah,
I want another. You ever play the game Resistance? Like
Yes.
Fallen Man? Oh man, dude! After 3, like 3 was a bop story wise. I really wish they made another one right off the bat.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's something that's coming down the pipeline. You know, because obviously Naughty Dog's got their magnum opus coming out next week, or this week, I guess. And I wonder what they're working on, because I know they're not just working on The Last of Us. It's done. It's in the can. So what's next for them? You know what I mean?
Last of Us Part 3.
No, I don't. I really think they're gonna give it time to breathe, bro. I really don't think they're gonna be doing that again anytime soon.
They're making a game. It's a Rick and Morty game where you play as the pickle.
Lord have mercy. What about another Uncharted?
I thought that, but my only thing is I think the Uncharted franchise is so tied into Nathan Drake, and that they kind of kept his story so beautifully with 4 that you can't really bring him back unless they do it with the daughter, which I think would be kind of interesting, actually, because she's the next Drake, you know.
Right.
They're working on an IKEA store employee simulator.
This dude.
Where you're trying to wrangle up shoppers and then contain them within IKEA.
Oh, is this the Swedish Chef shame? Swedish Chef game again?
Hey, he's already wheezing.
It could be in the background.
Yeah,
God, I love the Muppets rendition of popcorn. Why are you laughing?
I don't know. I thought it was funny. I'm sorry. So, yeah. So I'm really interested in what Naughty Dog is doing moving forward.
They're making Swedish meatballs.
No, they're
forward.
not. No, they are not. And,
Speaking of, I bought some today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Good. Oh, I didn't make them yet, but.
Oh, okay. Cool. All right. Let's move along. So they also showed a couple of indie games, which I thought was kind of par for what they normally do. They usually show us a couple of indie games. Some of them looked incredibly intriguing, including the Little Devil Inside. I don't know if you guys saw that footage, but essentially it's like they were telling like a two-pronged story where one of is just an old man living like a mundane life, and inside of him internally is going on like this crazy adventure kind of going on inside of him. I don't know if it's like physically or if it's just going on in his head, but I thought it was fucking hilarious with some of the things that they showed. So I would definitely recommend checking that out. There was also Ken Up Bridge of Spirits. Did you guys see this?
No.
All right. So this is looking like kind of in the same vein as like a kind of an action adventure platforming kind of a game, and looks phenomenal. The Adventures of Sackboy. Did you guys see that? The guy from Little Big Planet is getting his own little multiplayer platform game, which is I guess will be operating as the next Little Big Planet game. I guess if you're into that. I wasn't really into it, but you know it exists for people and people liked it. Obviously,
to the kids.
Yep, there was that. And a couple of third-party stuff. Hitman 3, they showed some of that, which I thought looked pretty good. What do you guys think about Hitman 3?
Hitman. Yeah, we gotta sit down and figure out what the fuck is going on with this series.
Yeah. Why don't they make another Splinter Cell?
Well, we've been fucking asking for that for like how many years have we been asking for that?
As long as this podcast has been alive. So going on year 5.
Yeah, we've been asking for a new fucking Splinter Cell for quite some time. Honestly, I'm surprised that they've shown the restraint to not do a fucking full-blown just remaster of the first couple of games.
Even just Chaos Theory, man.
Yeah, something, you know. I'm surprised that they haven't jumped down that well yet, but Yeah, it's been incredibly quiet on on the Ubisoft front when it comes to this next Splinter Cell game, just because they keep shitting out Ghost Recon games that are trash, and the Division, which was also trash, and all these things. Ubisoft was pretty quiet. We all know. I think Gabe showed me that they're officially bringing Siege to the next gen, which I thought was pretty intriguing. So there's that.
And GTA 5.
And GTA 5 for the 7th year in a row. GTA 5 has stayed alive. And good for them, man. Shit.
Yeah, I saw a meme where it's like the original
7
trilogy.
years, yeah.
Yeah, with like GTA, what was it, Vice City, San Andreas, and then 4, and then the other half is all GTA 5. It's like, I get it. You can support the game for a while, and you can do a lot of things, but come on, man. Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna need new settings sometime.
Yeah, I started to see it. I'm like, oh, is this GTA 6? Are they going to announce GTA 6? And it's like, no, it's just fucking 5 again. Jesus Christ. Like, how many generations has the 5 been on?
I think, didn't it come out in 2015?
It was on the PlayStation 3, 360, the 1, the 4, and now the 5 and X.
So it's been on
three gens.
This would be his 3rd generation of being around.
This might be the longest lasting video game that's not a remaster or remake.
Yeah. Single game that's been supported throughout. I mean, more power to them, I guess, but fuck, bro. They can put that love into Red Dead Redemption for crying out loud. But there is that. I didn't put it on there because it's the same game, really. Come on now. And they got people incentives to try to stick around with it, which I thought was hilarious. But there's that. Godfall, we saw a little bit of that. I think it looked interesting. It looks kind of like a hack and slash kind of early God of War-ish kind of game. Ghostwire, did you guys see that?
I'm not.
No.
It's like a Ghostbusters, but like you're shooting lasers with your hands and like a magic kind of a situation. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And Demon Souls remake. What do we think?
Cool.
Oh yeah.
Souls games. Yeah, boy.
Demon Soul kicked my ass on the PS3, and I'm probably going to pick up a PS5 so I can kick my ass again.
Yeah, man. Can I have some more, sir? That's Greg going to the PlayStation to get his ass kicked by Demon Souls again.
They're going to beat him with ores because they said, can I get some ores?
There's that. And I think one of the other bigger things that came out of it is Village, which they kind of set it up to be like, oh, I guess it's a new IP. But no, it is the new Resident Evil game, Resident Evil 8, which is subtext is Village. What do you guys think about that?
Fun. It's giving me some serious RE4 vibes in a way. It feels like a very good like spiritual successor in some methods. And we kind of discussed the controversy behind that, but
I'm still a little iffy on first-person Resident Evil games. I mean, they work well. I mean, obviously, kind of Resident Evil 7 also brings like some Outlast vibes to it.
Yeah.
But I mean, if it looks good, I'm definitely down to play it. I mean, I never really touched Resident Evil 7. I've been definitely interested in the remakes like 2 and 3, but I'll definitely give this one a try.
Yeah, for sure. I think what's most interesting about it, if they're gonna do Resident Evil in the first person kind of style, there needs to be like a virtual reality aspect to it. And
yeah.
They have not announced anything for the 5 when it comes to VR. So that's my question is what's the play on that,
Right.
But overall, I would say I would grade the PlayStation experience very highly. I think they did a great job. Like I said, the presentation, the music, and the games that they showed, I think were a good quality set of games. And I think it's just the beginning. I think we'll be getting a lot more news moving forward. And now the ball is in Xbox court to see if they can show up.
If they bring back Starhawk, oh man,
you're in.
Definite buy for the PS5.
Fair enough. So yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see on that. I'm fairly impressed. Slightly worried that they didn't give me a price yet. It kind of scares me a little bit, but I guess we'll have to wait and see about that. So with that being said, that concludes that portion of the podcast. We got a couple other things to talk about. All right. So Smite updated the new arena, right? It looks absolutely fantastic. Cthulhu also has dropped, who looks pretty fucking intimidating in that ultimate form. Yeah, so I just wanted to throw that out there because it looks really fucking cool. Gabe, did you see it by chance or no?
No, I haven't gotten a good look at anything by high res in the past week or so.
Yeah, I would check it out. Cthulhu looks like a lot of fun. Obviously a Guardian, and they made that trailer for him. He was like super intimidating looking. So I'm glad, obviously. So there's that. Battlefield 6, I guess, is coming down the pipeline. Greg, I know you have opinions on this. What do you think?
I'm still a little salty that they stopped supporting Battlefield 5, especially since the last update they finally gave the fans a good chunk of what they wanted. More importantly, realistic looking uniforms for the English and German sides. Everybody should have break. It's hilarious. The Battlefield 5 subreddit literally went from like pillage and burn to, oh my god, please bring back support. Both that and the Battlefront 2 subreddits. It's fucking hilarious. But there's speculations going on around about what Battlefield 6 might be. Some people are saying it's going to be a Battlefield 3 remake. I'm definitely down for that as long as they get rid of that. Well, I don't know. I still don't know how I feel about the Battlefield 3 blue tinge. I like it. It gives it a nice aesthetic, but at the same time, the game's so fucking blue with the HUD and everything. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely down for a Battlefield 3 remake. I really wish they brought back the Bad Company series, but. That's still a wet dream of mine. So,
yeah,
we'll see what this holds.
I heard it was supposed to be a modern shooter. Like
and that's good because I think with World War II, again, history's in the past. A lot of people are going to be butthurt about especially like how Battlefield 5 was, because the events already happened and everybody wants it to be historically accurate. With modern settings, you have more freedom to do in whatever setting you want. Most likely it's going to be USA and Russia, bad guys versus good guys, like it usually is. And not only that, but the weapons, man, like the customization that they had in Battlefield 4, insane. I want to see that same level of detail. I love just having everything unlocked, because that's what brings me back to Battlefield 4. I mean, you can have every gun unlocked, right? But the way you can just customize it just makes it a completely new gun, and it's so fun to just roll around with that. So I'm definitely glad they're going back to the modern setting for sure. It gives them a lot more breathing room.
Very cool. Yeah, I think it's time. I think we've played around in the past for the last couple of games, and I think it's time to kind of bring it back to where we are currently. I think it'd be kind of interesting. Like you said, you could kind of play with the narrative all you want. You can do whatever you want with it. You can put like North Korea or stuff like that into it, and have fun. So there's that. Apparently, I forgot to put this on the list, but apparently we have some Call of Duty leaks for the next gen or for the next game. I guess it's supposed to be Blackouts Vietnam, I think is what it was supposed to be called. Some early footage leaked. I want to say something real quick about that because the free games of the month for PlayStation are both Star Wars Battlefront 2 and Call of Duty World War II. And I played World War II for a little bit. I downloaded it. I'm like, it's been a while since I played it, and it felt fine. But I will say, jumping from World War II back into Modern Warfare, the new one, you could definitely feel the difference in the engine. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's hard to put words to it, but there is a difference. It feels completely different than the other one. It's actually what the old Modern World War II feels very clunky compared to what we got going on now. So I think they've definitely refined that. There's definitely some changes on the engine front on that. So
whose turn is it to make the new Call of Duty? Is it Treyarch? I'm assuming now.
Yeah, this would be Treyarch.
Because it was Sledgehammer then, and now it's Infinity Ward, so it's Treyarch. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's Vietnam, they're definitely familiar with it because they touched base with Vietnam in the first Black Ops. So
yeah, you actually missed one because they did have a Black Ops game that was the most recent one. Sledgehammer got kicked out of the rotation.
Oh, really? I thought they did. Oh, did they? So they just did World War II and that's it?
Well, they did Advanced Warfare. They did that one.
They did World War II.
World War II, and then they were supposed to be next. In the list, but I guess with disagreements with Activision and how the game looked, they bumped them out and said, okay, just whatever you got, toss it, and you're going to be helping Treyarch get caught up with the new game, which again...
So they turned to the next Raven studio.
Yeah. So which essentially what they were kind of to begin with, that was their original intent. They were originally just helping out, but I guess they showed promise with with Advanced Warfare, I guess, to kind of break up the two studio rotation, and now they were at the 3, and now they're back to 2. They're back to the main 2, alternating year by year. Which I think, honestly, it should take a year off.
Kind of ass.
Yeah, and they should definitely give us some time to kind of work on it, especially since they got pushed up. A year.
Right.
They should probably take a break, give them a break, but. We all know how this works. Activision's not going to allow that to happen. They got to keep the fucking money machine turning. So it is what it is.
We'll see what Treyarch cranks out. In my opinion, they've been kind of in a downhill spiral from the first Black Ops to 4. So, but we'll see what they crank out.
Yeah, for sure. With that being said, again, I didn't put this on here. We have the new season of Modern Warfare up. Gabe, have you played any of it yet?
No, I'm treating Call of Duty like I treat most of my girlfriends. Ignore them until the problem goes away.
Fair enough. But me and Greg have played a little bit. Greg, what's your overall feeling so far? I know we're both in about halfway through this battle pass. Or not even halfway, but barely just started up this battle pass. And what do you think so far, buddy?
Definitely love what they're doing with the mil sim skins. I can't. Jesus Christ, it's like a
mil sim skim milk.
Yeah, skim milk. Yeah, skim beeble. I definitely love what they're doing with those. Jake definitely hates that I bitch about this, but it's Modern Warfare, and I don't like the flashy outfits, like the fucking dude with the cop outfit with the cowboy hat. It's so stupid, but anyways, that's freaking amazing. I love that they're doing that. The new gun additions, the Galil and the Fennec, the Vector fucking shreds. I haven't picked up the Galil, but Jake's had some playtime with it after I'm guessing knocking someone out and fucking picking it up. Fennec's amazing, full shreds. Definitely need that 40 round mag. And this battle pass looks spicy. I went through the whole thing. All the variants look actually interesting and cool, so can't wait to unlock those. New season and new weapons. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I like some of the changes to the Warzone. They changed some of the gun lineups, which I'm glad they got rid of the fucking Uzi, because who the fuck would pick that up?
I like the Uzi.
Not in fucking Warzone though. But yeah, so yeah, I would overall, I'd agree with you. I like, there's like I think a sunset something or other blueprint. It's an LMG. It looks absolutely beautiful. They have some really sweet looking guns in this, and we like it, man. It's good stuff. Go ahead.
The Scrapyard remake, bro.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. They made they brought back Scrapyard. It's on the 24/7 playlist right now. Me and Greg have both kind of agreed on a particular opinion that it doesn't exactly feel like Scrapyard. From Modern Warfare 2, especially aesthetically, like it's very different looking. It's very bright. Which I think, I don't know if I agree with necessarily with that choice, but they did the same thing with Hard Hat from Modern Warfare 3. They did the same thing where they kind of brightened it up, which I get it, but I don't know. I think that kind of late day going into the evening look was very important to the kind of the aesthetic of the map. And I think you kind of pinpointed it that it feels different. I don't know if you could care to explain it again, but it does feel very different.
So I guess I'll go from spawn points. So if you're looking at a top-down variant of the map, what they did is that I'm gonna be talking from the right spawn perspective. So the right spawn, like on the right-hand side, you had the burning oil, right? And then building in asynchronous order like that. And on the left side, it was building and then that like antenna satellite array. What they essentially did was take both those sides, flip them, and then they rotated them 180. So now when you spawn on the right and you go to the right side, you'll see the antenna array first and then the building. And if you go to the left side, you'll see the building first and then the burning like oil pile. So that's a interesting layout that they have going on. I don't know why they rotated like that, and like I want to hear how that board meeting went. But it's interesting that they did that. But overall, I do enjoy the Scrapyard remake.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's all right. I mean, I don't mind it too much. They also have this new trench warfare kind of game mode. It's 3v3 in a very small map that's very trench based. That's fun. I enjoy that. Maybe we'll hop in a little bit later, but there's that. And overall, I think we all agreed that the battle pass looks very cool. It looks like they're going to next season get the new Warzone map up. They're talking about how do you say it? Azerkistan or something like that.
Azerkistan.
Yeah, it's going to be the next Warzone map. They're going to redo the whole entire thing, just about, it looks like, which is fine because I think the current Warzone map is starting to get a little stale, and all that good stuff. So
support Apex.
Yeah, so they're gonna drop a nuke literally, because that's like all the Easter egg stuff is all leaning towards a nuke getting dropped on Bergenstan or whatever the fuck the name of that map is. And and I guess we're gonna be moving on to the next one. So all interesting stuff. Some very cool looking gear and, like I said, weapons. The Galil, which I can't wait to get my hands on because it feels nice every time I pick it up. I'm excited, and it should be good. Alrighty, next up, who is this?
I put this on here. Have you guys heard of Metal Hellsinger?
No.
It's a rhythm-based hardcore FPS shooter, and it feels like Doom. So the guns themselves have the rhythm, and you gotta keep the beat going, I guess you can say, by continuously shooting these demons and multiplying your score and things of that nature. And, upon initial glance, I was like, man, this feels like a Doom knockoff. But I think it took some of the more interesting parts of Doom and made it into, I guess, something unique, because Doom is heavy on the music, right? But at the end of the day, it's not a rhythm-based game, whereas a big mechanic of this is a rhythm-based game. And so obviously it features things like a metal soundtrack, demon slaying, things of that nature. But I do think that this is a pretty cool idea, where it's taking bits and pieces from some of the better kind of aspects of video games that we've liked in the past couple of years. So check out Metal Hellsinger. It's not out yet. We do have a little bit of footage, but I think it seems interesting enough that we'll watch its career grow with interest.
All right, cool. Yeah, that sounds interesting. Did we finally get Code Orange on a demon killing a demon killing game?
I initially saw it because the ad said like, oh, it's death metal. I'm like, bro, this is really not death metal, but okay. I'd love to get more hardcore bands on video games, always, forever and always, but I don't know if the soundtrack is original or what they're doing with it, but you should definitely check it out.
I'll definitely check it out. Yeah, there you go. Now we're thinking. So there's that. Greg, you literally just had us on here.
He ninja diffused.
He did.
This dude's going to spend an hour talking about Destiny.
No, I'm not.
Just give me a phone call. I'm going to go to sleep.
This guy. All right. So, in Destiny news, Destiny, literally, I believe it was this Tuesday, and their vid doc, they announced the new DLC coming up in the fall, as well as support for 2021 and 2022, and a couple other interesting things. So, first off, the new season of Arrivals, is about, for at least everybody that knows like what Destiny 2 is, like what's going on currently in the Destiny 2 universe. The darkness has officially reached the Sol system, and they are attacking Io at the moment. And right now, we're obviously going to try to find a way to combat that. So the whole season of Arrival deals with trying to figure out what this darkness is, and they set up public events, all that stuff. And the new season looks pretty fun. And then in the fall, this is the big chunky stuff. We're going to Europa, boys. So the whole season, they're finally doing a lot of good things. The original story from D2 involving the Exo Stranger, she's coming back, and it looks like they're going to continue that arc, as well as looks like this is kind of sort of Fallen Darkness based, because the main villain, Aramis, is going to be kind of dicking around in the pyramid ship that's on Europa. And for those who don't know, Aramis is the Fallen that's trying to unite the House of Devils, and she was featured in the Outbreak Perfected secret mission where they were trying to steal the Siva tech in Outbreak for Perfected, and then we got it back. So I'm cool that they're bringing this stuff back, and they're kind of continuing instead of just kind of starting a storyline and kicking it off and not having any explanation about that. There's sort of hints that Varix might be coming back, and last time we heard about him was in the beginning of Forsaken, as well as a new subclass. I forgot what the subclass name is called. Stasis. So it looks kind of darkness based, so I'm pretty excited about that. As well as they announced again 2021-22 support with the DLCs coming called the Witch Queen in 2021, and then Lightfall in 2022. They're also going to dump a couple planets in the new fall DLC that we're going to drop. I believe it's Nessus, Io, Mars, and Mercury to make room for the new planets, because Destiny 2 at this point has been out since 2017, and to continue support, they got to obviously decrease the game, so they're going to put it in the new thing called the Destiny Content Vault, DCV, right? Yeah, DCV, which they're going to put it back in and then maybe keep it around for future dates. To release it back in. They're also going to be doing that stuff with D1. In the fall, we're also looking to see a return to the Cosmodrome from Destiny 1, which is going to be tight. My only nitpicking thing is that I hope that the Fallen in the Cosmodrome are not House of Dusk and instead are House of Devils, because that's what the original Fallen house that was occupying the Cosmodrome was. They will also be bringing back the Vault of Glass raid from Destiny 1 in year 4, which this guy, which sounds extremely exciting. Hoping that the drops are the same Vex Mythoclast and Fatebringer. Everybody loves those from Destiny 1. So yeah, big new things coming for Destiny 2. And finally, Jake soon can play with me and Gabe on PC because not at the moment. They're announcing crossplay between PS4 and PS5 and Xbox One and Xbox Series X, if that's what they're still calling it. But then later on down the line, they're going to try to bring everything together, into the big kahuna where PC, PS4, and Xbox players can all play with one another. So maybe me and Gabe can finally get a trials match going, a nice little 3-stack where we can, pick up a card and try and, get the new weapons, the adept weapons that they're going to be bringing into the game.
Nice. Wow, he went off. Gabe, you were right, man. He went off on that thing.
He's horny for Destiny, bro.
Apparently. All right. I mean, nothing wrong with that. I mean, it is America. It's okay to be wrong, but here we are.
Oh my God. Man, I'm unfollowing you on Twitch, bro.
I'm talking about Secondcitykids back down to 0 followers.
No, I got 4 now. Fuck you. All right. So there's that. So this Star Wars Squadrons, Pilots Wanted. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, right, Greg? So yeah. What is this? This is basically Rogue Squadron Reborn. Is this what you're talking about?
This is
we don't know what it is.
I slapped it on here. It's a new fighter pilot game.
Yeah, it's a new fighter pilot.
It's going to have a campaign. It's going to be primarily focused on multiplayer, though.
The reveal's already out, though? I thought it was tomorrow.
It was the 13th, so yesterday.
No, if I go on YouTube.
You go on YouTube.
You're
about to feel stupid.
I legitimately just checked this morning, and there was still like a premiere waiting thing. Star Wars. Come on, man. I'm like horny for Star Wars too.
Oh, and here we go. Let's see.
Tune in June 15th in 15 hours premiere on the official EA Star Wars YouTube channel.
Yeah, just like I said, in 15 hours, bro. Relax.
Oh my God. Oh, this dude sucked the fart out of my ass, Gabe.
Gabe, he said that at least 20 times yesterday. At least.
I don't know why he fucked it up today, but whatever.
So that's interesting. I was a big fan of Rogue Squadron on the N64, and I know they had one on what was it called? What was that thing called? The GameCube as well. So yeah, I'm all
was
down.
That strange thing? Oh yeah, the GameCube.
I'm totally down for this. I'm excited, and hopefully, it's cool.
Yeah, we can finally, Starfighter Assault and Battlefront 2 hasn't seen love in the last 3 years, so getting a dedicated game due to, two-star fighting in stars, I could finally, pimp out my TIE fighter and go shit on some rebels, so that'd be fun.
I too like to beat the shit out of stars.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, here we are.
Music news and reviews.
Okay. So this is not you, the first
No,
time?
this is me. Over the past couple of weeks, lots of allegations of rape, sexual assault, and things of that nature in two musicians in the scene. And I feel like we got to have this talk once a year on this podcast, but
we are not a political podcast.
Sweet baby Jesus. Keep your dick in your pants. Ask for consent. That's all we're going to fucking say. I'm not going to bring up any of the accusations because there's been a lot brought to light, even in the past couple of days.
Yep.
Y'all are grown-ass adults. Y'all are better than this.
Correct.
Speaking about being better than this, let's talk about End and their new record called Splinters from the Ever-Changing Face. Okay. So once a year, there is that brutal, nasty, super heavy album that comes out. Last year was sanctioned. This year is going to be End by no fucking contest here, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think this might be the shortest album review I ever give on this podcast, but this thing is so metal.
Gabe good.
This thing is so metal, it cured my anemia. I give it an A-. Check it out.
I honestly haven't done the in-depth listen through. I have listened to it, but I haven't done like the deep dive yet. I will say is what I've heard so far, I definitely enjoyed, and I definitely would recommend everybody check it out. But I don't have the deep review that Gabe did, I guess. But let me do the shorter version of mine. Jacob like things go boom. A-. So there is that. Next up, another big release. Bleed From Within, their new album Fractures came out, and the thing fucking smacks. The thing smacks like the nuns at fucking Catholic school. It's
Jesus
nice.
Christ.
It's nice. It's thick. Kind of like a the kielbasa that you guys had that I wasn't invited to last night. So there,
I told you he'd be upset, man.
I
Why didn't you invite him, Greg?
Juice, bro. Fucking juice, man.
It's always juice.
Y'all fucking up. All right, whatever. It's cool. No big deal. So yeah, definitely an album worth checking out. They had I forgot which song it was. Let me get it pulled up real quick. There was a song out of it that I visibly went woo. Yeah, the other night listening to it. I think it was Pathfinder. Pathfinder. Yeah, that the second song. I'm just like, sweet Jesus, and it kind of had that video game intro. It was kind of sick, dude. It's fucking sick, bruh. So Fractures. Slapping away at it, and it's good stuff. All right, so I would give this a B+ right now. I think it has the opportunity to grow, but for right now, my initial listen through, pretty goddamn solid.
Good copy, sir.
All right, next up, singles of the week. We have two, of the last couple of weeks. Northlane has, I guess it's a bonus track off of Alien, and now I have a very strong opinion about bonus tracks. Bonus tracks are songs that weren't good enough to make the album, but here we are talking about it, and I like it. It's nothing crazy. It's definitely would have been like a mid-tier song on the album, but I think it's pretty good. And Enemy of the Night, Northlane, doing God's work. I've talked about that last year. There's a reason why they were my album of the year, and I like me some Northlane, so it's all good stuff.
Good copy. Upon a Burning Body dropped a single called 5x3. Clearly they can tell that their prior album upset a lot of OG fans, and now they're going back to what made them great, what made San Antonio so great.
Yep.
It channels very much. I think it's a nice balance. It channels very much the energy from their earlier albums, but it still shows kind of that musical maturity and growth.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that was the only upside of the previous album. So I guess we'll see where they go from here, because I heard this. I was like, this is pretty good.
Yeah, I liked it. I jammed it too. I played it a couple of times. I'm like, yeah, there you go. That's a little bit more what I want from my Upon a Burning Body, and it's all pretty good stuff.
Good copy.
Alrighty, so that was this week's episode of the Second City Kids podcast. Thank you guys for joining us for episode 158. We'll be back for 159 as soon as we can. All right, like I said, yeah, like I said, we're gonna talk. We will run the show when we got stuff to talk about. I'm not gonna pressure us into talking about 3 topics every single week if we don't have stuff to talk about. All right, so we are. This was a good one. So with that being said, hey man, I've been streaming on Twitch, guys. So follow me. Yeah, I promise I have fun. What did you say earlier today, Greg? I was what?
Oh, you're zesty.
Zesty. That was
You're pretty zesty, man. Hey,
Yeah.
I finally saw what Jake looks like in real life. It's nothing what I totally
Oh,
pictured.
sorry.
Yeah. It's not, didn't picture him like that, but so cute.
You ever seen the goat on your dad's farm, and it has that like long ass beard, and it just like look at you, and you look at it, and you're like, bah, follow me on Twitch.
You do have them fucking eyes of a goat, though.
I do. I know.
Beady teddy bear eyes, bro.
Because I am the goat. Anyways, so yeah, I've been streaming. I'm going to be just streaming every Sunday through Tuesday because those are the days I'm off work. For a couple hours every single day. Please stop by. We had fun today, especially if my comrades are in the chat. We're going to try to make things goofy today. Greg built me a class, the odd class, which I must admit.
Why would you let him build you a class?
No,
but
here's the deal. This one actually slapped. It really did.
What was it? Throwing knife?
No.
Riot shield?
No, it was just an odd class with the 5.56 rounds. And what was the lightweight barrel, right?
407 lightweight, yeah.
Yeah, and it was good. I dropped a 60 bomb, right?
Yeah, 59. We'll round it up.
Yeah, well, I dropped a 60 bomb. See, why you got to do that for, bro?
Tomorrow, Jake will be doing a push-up for every death in the domination match.
We should do that. That'd be fun. Alrighty. But yeah, so feel free to stop by. I mean, I'm more than willing to do custom classes and stuff like that. And I think it'll be fun. Hopefully my friends will be able to join me on the stream as well.
Stop by and tell Jake why Vanna went downhill after Davey joined. No, I'm playing. We love Davey Muse. It's just the one way to upset him.
Prime to have Jake do whatever you want because he just wants that Galil. This dude will strip down and fucking suck on popsicle sticks for all we know.
Tuesday we got 2 heads of lettuce.
Yeah,
right.
He's just gonna eat them on stream.
So so there's that. And next week I will be ditching Call of Duty for the weekend because The Last of Us Part 2 will be out, and I will be streaming my whole entire experience with the game.
Ooh, so stay away from chat, man. I feel like people are going to spoil it.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully they don't. And it is what it is. But yeah, if you want to see a grown man cry, go ahead and check out.
Pathetic cry.
Yeah, go ahead and check out that live stream next week. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you next time around. Deuces.
Maybe.
Peep.
Thank you guys for joining us this week on the Second City Kids podcast. You can like us on iTunes, Google, anywhere else podcasts are found. Any comments, questions, or concern, you can email us at secondcitykids@gmail.com. Until next week, folks, deuces.